Do you have the courage to stand up for what you believe in? Do you have what it takes to put out the courage of your convictions, even if it's going to hurt you? Listen to this very powerful speech by American actor David Schwimmer from Friends as he calls out American influencers for not standing tall and proud to protect their people and to protect Israel.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks to Jonathan Greenblatt for your tireless leadership. Thanks to the ADL for your unflinching advocacy. And thank you to every person here in this hall and watching at home for your commitment to this community. My career has given me an incredible platform, a chance to talk about the issues that matter to me, and on a good day, a chance to be heard over the noise that drowns too many people out. And I believe with that privilege comes a responsibility to use my voice in moments like this, at a time of danger, bigotry, and violence. Now, as you know, speaking out often comes at a cost. Like so many others, I've been attacked and threatened by people I've never met. I've been abandoned by people I thought were friends and by organizations I thought were allies. But I've also found amazing moments of meaning and solidarity. And I want to remind you that there are so many good people out there who have our backs, incredible allies, that we will get through this together, that our spirit is unbreakable, our joy is irrepressible, our story is impossible. We are kind, resilient, innovative, generous, and strong. And as you can tell from this speech, really funny. Now, I get that speaking out is hard. Plenty of people I respect, even some of my heroes in entertainment, music, and sports, have chosen to keep a low profile and sit this one out, including some whose careers have been made by leaning into their Jewish identity, and others who have won acclaim for playing Jews on screen. Some of them are doing a lot behind the scenes, privately, and in their own way. But so many have chosen not to say anything publicly at all. And if I can say something directly to them, I really wish you would. I wish you would stand up. I wish you would speak out, because your voice would be so meaningful to your fans who love you, to your community members who need you, to folks who could use just a little solidarity right now from people they respect and look up to. You don't have to say anything political. No one's asking you to solve the conflict in the Middle East. Just say that you stand with your Jewish friends, colleagues, and neighbors against hatred and discrimination. Say that what's happening on our college campuses and in our schools and to Jewish-owned businesses is totally unacceptable. Say anything anything in solidarity with the Jewish community. Post your bar mitzvah picture. We'll start a trend of embarrassing haircuts and dental work. This time we're in, with the terrifying global rise in anti-Semitism and the normalization of hate speech and physical attacks against Jews, calls for those of us in positions of real or perceived leadership, whether we ask for it or not, to risk a little personal comfort for the sake of the greater community. Elie Wiesel said, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference." What is indifference? It's inaction. It's silence. Sometimes, in moments of danger, it can feel like our only option is to stay quiet, to avoid drawing attention to ourselves, to hide. But here's the truth. Now is not the time to disappear. Now is the time to show up, to reach out, to connect with one another, to find strength in our community, and to raise up our voices together. When we do that, we change minds, we challenge assumptions, and we remind other Jewish people across the country and around the globe that we are not alone. Today, I'm so honored to welcome and recognize a group of people who are using their voices, their reach, and their connections to share messages of hope and solidarity that stretch around the world. They're not just speaking up, they're shouting from the rooftops. We're calling these individuals heroes against hate. From influencers to actors to students to chefs to authors to comics, activists, nurses, entrepreneurs, TV hosts, podcasters, rabbis, business owners, producers. They're using their profiles to raise awareness of anti-Semitism. They're replacing blame and shame with light and truth. And through the power of their platforms, they're empowering others to stand up for justice. And I'm proud to stand with them today. So please welcome and recognize our 2025 Heroes Against Hate.
Oh my God, thank you. Wow.
And now everyone, please give it up for Zach Sage Fox.
Wow, thank you, David. Powerful speech, man. Thank you, heroes. Before we do anything, let's get together for a picture. Let's do this.
How are you going to do
Just like hot from every angle. Wow, what an honor to be here, everyone. Let's give it up for David one more time. That was a powerful speech. You had me tearing up there, friend. All right, now between everybody here, we have over 90 million followers. 90 million. Wow. The power of social media, those aren't just numbers, okay? Those are people, and what I want is to reach every one of them right now. You ready for this? So with your help, I'd like us to send a message against anti-Semitism, bigotry, and hate to our more than 90 million people around the world following us. I'm asking you, heroes, to take out your phones and get ready to post a message about fighting hate. And all of you in the audience, here in the room and at home, I want you to join us. So take out your phone, go to your social media, and pull up the ADL profiles we're showing up on the big screen, okay? As soon as we post from this account, I want you to share that image from yours. Altogether, we will post a powerful statement about hate to the world, showing our strength in numbers through the reach that we establish in this very moment. All right, let's do it, guys. Hold up your phones and get ready to post. Are we ready? Yeah, are we ready, guys? Yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1, post. Wow. We did it, guys.
All right, everyone, listen. The fight doesn't end today. So let this be the start of a movement to stand up as one, united against hate. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing your part.
90 million people, quite impressive indeed. The courage to stand up for who you are is actually nothing new to our people. It's a struggle that we've had since the dawn of time, since the dawn of our nation. It's interesting when you go all the way back to a very dramatic moment that took place 3,300, a little less than 3,300 years ago, when the Jewish people entered into the Holy Land. After 40 years of traveling through the desert, Moses, our leader, begs before God, and he says, God, please allow me access into the land. And God says, sorry, you're not going to be allowed into the promised land. Moses has been schlepping the bones of Joseph, the king of Egypt, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Moses has been schlepping the bones of Joseph with him for the past 40 years from Egypt all the way into the promised land. And indeed, Joseph is buried to this very day in Judea and Samaria, inside of the land of Israel, in the city of Shechem. Moses turns to God and he said, I've been schlepping Joseph's bones and he's going to be entered into the land of Israel. But me, Moses, I won't. God's answer is nothing short of stunning. It's reported in the Medrash, in the book of in Devarim, and the portion of Et Hanan, when Moses is denied access to the promised land. The Medrash says God's answer to Moses was amazing. He says, he who identified with the land will be granted access to the land. But he who did not identify with the land will not be granted access to the land. What does this mean? When we look closely at the stories of Joseph and Moses, when Joseph had his darkest moments, when he encountered anti-Semites, with the woman who tried to seduce him, and again with the baker and the butler that spoke badly about him after he helped them, in the stories in Genesis, Joseph is referred to as a Hebrew slave. Yet when Moses is spoken about in the third person, when Moses encounters his future wife and his sisters-in-law, and they report back to their father, they speak about an Egyptian man that we had encountered. When Joseph is spoken about in the third person, is referred to as a Hebrew slave, because clearly Joseph identified as a Jew, he dressed as a Hebrew. Whereas Moses in the third person is described as an Egyptian man, because he obviously didn't look like a Jew. He looked like an Egyptian. And this is what God's answer was to Moses when he denied his access to the promised land. He who identified with the land, Joseph, who looked like a Jew, he will be granted access to the land. And indeed, he's buried in the land of Israel to this very day, 3,000 years later. But Moses, who did not identify with the land, he was referred to as an Egyptian in the third person. He will not be granted access into this land. And indeed, Moses was buried outside of the land of Israel. The Torah testifies that to this day, no man knows exactly the identity of the location of Moses' tomb. What a powerful message that is to us today as we struggle to have the courage to muster the mettle To be able to stand before the world and say, I am a Jew and I am proud. I am not afraid. If you looked in that video, you saw a woman baking challah. She was making challah for Shabbos. When we have the courage to put a mezuzah on our door, when we have the courage to wear a yarmulke, to wear our tzitzis, to go to shul, to say, it's Shabbos and it's my holy day. To say, yes, I do send my kids to Hebrew school. Yes, I do speak to my children about Torah and about mitzvahs, and Judaism and Torah is important to me. It's this generation that will merit the land of Israel. But if, God forbid, we turn our backs on the land, then the land will turn its back on us too. May we all muster the courage to stand up tall, proud, fearless, unapologetic, and unafraid, recognizing that the God of Israel is on our side, and like we've won every single war we've ever encountered as the Jewish people, we have always outlived our enemies. So too now as well, this is our moment. This is our time. Post to your social media. Stand with Israel. Stand with the Jewish people. Stand with the God of Israel. Do another mitzvah. Lay tefillin, put up the mezuzah, wear your kippah with pride. A bully is intimidated by one thing, and that's confidence. Let's not give them that joy to know that they've intimidated us. Because when we stand for Israel, when we stand for Judaism, when we stand for Torah and mitzvahs, it's then that we will merit to truly inherit the land.